What's up, good people of YouTube? It's me, Chavez, back with another NBA player prop video for you. Today is Tuesday, November 14th, 2023. As always, I hope this video finds you doing well and in good spirits. Here's what we're doing in today's video. We are going to recap our plays from yesterday. We are going to make sure we are up to speed on all the injury news going on in the NBA, and then we're going to transition into two picks that I personally like for today's slate. I'll give you reasons as to why I like these picks. So if all that sounds good, stick around, drop a like, sub up, and click the notification icon so that you're notified of all upcoming content and videos from me on my channel. And without further delay, let us get into our two plays from Monday. All right, starting off with the zinger. I feel like he was called the unicorn when he came into the league, and I don't know if anybody else took that moniker or not, but I'm going to call him the unicorn because I think that's what he was called. So we took the over on Porzingis, the unicorn's fantasy points, 33.5 versus the Knicks. Does it by the skin of his teeth, ends the game with 34.7 fantasy points. That last minute block really sealed the deal. Got a little scary there in the fourth quarter as Jason Tatum began to take it over. Wasn't passing the ball, wasn't looking to pass the ball. A lot of isolation. You saw everybody just kind of get out the way and just let Tatum do his thing. And usually when that happens, nobody else gets to play. But Porzingis was fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time to block that shot. So we take the over any way we can get it. Porzingis does that for us. Unfortunately, Darius Garland was not able to do this for us. We took the over on his fantasy points. He fell short. He missed it by about 6 fantasy points. Now, a couple of different views on this. Number one, Darius Garland did take quite a few shots. So he was 5 for 14 from the field, 3 of 8 from behind the line. Yeah, had he made a couple extra threes, we could be looking at a different game here. Had he made a couple extra shots, we could be looking at a different game here. Had he, dished out more assists or stolen a pass or blocked a shot, which he had no steals and blocks, which is a little surprising, we would be looking at a different scenario here. However, I do want to point to Donovan Mitchell, 7 of 21 from the field, took 21 shots from the field, was not having a good shooting night. He continued to shoot. I know what they say, shooters have to keep shooting to get out of their little slumps and everything, but yesterday wasn't the night to do that because the Kings did a great job of clamping down on Mitchell. Should have been kicking the ball out to open teammates. There were at least 3 possessions that I saw where he had open teammates on the wing, that is including Darius Garland, and instead of passing it out, he decided to drive and either get fouled or just completely miss the shot, and that ended up in an extra possession and transition points for the Kings. So Donovan Mitchell, in my opinion, really ate into the upside of Darius Garland, but no excuses. Darius Garland wasn't able to get it done for us, and all that means is we go 1-1 with our 2 plays, which is a little disappointing, especially after that great performance by Porzingis getting it done for us. We just needed a little bit more from Darius Garland, but we will move on to a new day with new plays. I have 2 of them to share with you today. Before we get into those, let us quickly go over some injury news in the NBA. All right, I am not going to read all these names to you. I will say pay attention to the names on the questionable list because players who are out, they're out. A lot of these dudes have broken bones and injuries that are going to keep them out for multiple weeks. But the questionable list can get smaller, it can get bigger. Some of these guys can get ruled out, some of these guys can get ruled in, or you may not know until tip off. So just keep your eyes out for these names. Pretty big names on the questionable list. You got Embiid, Curry, LeBron James, Trae Young. Yeah, that's about it in terms of big names. The rest of those guys are fine, but those are the big names right there. So that's the injury list for today. Make sure you keep your eyes open for updates throughout the day. All right, let's get into our 2 plays for today. So if you're new to the channel, what we're going to do here is basically give you 2 plays that are in play for today, plays that I personally like, and then we're going to head over to props.cash. That is my #1 source for research and data. We're going to look up these 2 plays. I'm going to give you reasons as to why I like them, and from there, you may make your decision to tail or fade. So if all that sounds good, let's go ahead and transition into the next couple of slides and start breaking down 2 plays that I like for today. All right, starting off with Gordon Hayward, liking the over on his rebounds, liking the over on quite a few of his lines here versus the Miami Heat, but definitely liking the over on these rebounds for him. Second play, Skylar Mays, 8.5 assists. I like the over on this one as well. These are going to be our 2 plays for today. Now we're going to transition over to props.cash and start using the tools over there to start breaking these down. All right, here we are, props.cash. Let's take a look at Gordon Hayward's line, 4.5 rebounds versus the Miami Heat. Listen, I think people still believe that the Miami Heat are the same playoff team that we saw last season, the same finals team that we saw last season. They are not. They're actually not that good of a team this year. They have good pieces in terms of Bam and Jimmy, and I'm sure at some point throughout the season we're going to get some players off the bench who are going to start making their name for themselves, a la, Austin Reeves last year for the Lakers. That's going to happen at some point. But for the most part, this team is really hurting, and they're lacking a lot of depth. And honestly, they're lacking flat-out talent in the starting 5. But Charlotte's no better. We don't need Gordon Hayward to have a career day. We need him to get 5 rebounds. Here's why I like this play. So looking at his games over the last 10, he's averaging 5.3. Over his last 5, he's averaging 4.6. Now, if you want to take a look at what he's done versus Miami, last 2 games that are showing here, he's gone over once and gone under once. So, it's not a game changer that he's playing Miami, but at the same time, he is playing a team that allows a little more than the average in terms of rebounds per game. They're also giving up quite a bit of production from 3. This is also something that we used to target last season. We could always depend on those 3-point shooters versus Miami. If you want to take a look at Hayward's projected to grab a little over 5 rebounds, which is perfect. I may even like the over on 5 if this were to get bumped up. Fingers crossed it does not. Let's take a look and see what small forwards have done versus this Miami team in terms of rebounds. Now, a lot of these names on this list aren't starters, so it's really hard to get a feel. But you do have Doug McDermott going over his rebound prop. Chetty Osman seeing very few minutes. Keldon Johnson, full-time starter, grabs 12 rebounds. DeAndre Hunter grabs 5. Zaire Williams, not a true starter, focal point guy. He's, who's uber productive in that offense in Memphis, but goes under his line. LeBron James goes under his line with 4 rebounds versus the Heat. Prince goes over, Reddish goes over, Mikal Bridges goes over, and then we got guys like Lonnie Walker, Chris Middleton, Kyle Anderson. Jason Tatum gets 8 but goes under his line, and Sam Hauser. So it's kind of a mixed bag of starters and bench players, but Gordon Hayward is a starter. He will be on the floor for upwards of 30 minutes today. He will be heavily involved in his offense. His rebounds and assists is also something that we could take a look at if he wanted to go that route. But for me, I look at the 4.5 rebounds for Gordon Hayward. I just think it's a perfect line to take the over on. And that is what we're going to do today. So 4.5 rebounds for Gordon Hayward. That is going to be our first play. All right, second play of the day. Let's talk about Skylar Mays sitting at 8.5 assists over on Prizepicks, not 9.5. This guy kind of came out of nowhere. Just basically, it's because of all the injuries in Portland, okay? So, you have Scoot Henderson that went down, and you had guys like Shaedon Sharpe stepping up. Now you have Malcolm Brogdon who's out, and Skylar Mays is kind of thrusted into this starting role, or this quasi-starting role. Back-to-back games of double-digit assists versus the Kings and the Lakers. Now he gets to take on a Utah Jazz team who, listen, not that good, okay? They're one of the worst defenses in the league. They're giving up a ton of points, a little worse than the average in terms of assists allowed, 3-point production as well. So Listen, they're giving up a lot of 3-pointers. We're not taking his 3-point prop, but there are people on this team that hit threes. Skylar Mays should be able to set those threes up for his teammates. So I'm looking at this in a couple of different ways. Yeah, he's just going to have the ball in his hand a lot. And, you know, when you have a starting point guard who is on a kind of a bad team, you know, they're probably going to get a lot of run, you know, especially a team that's hurting like the Trailblazers are. They're running out of bodies. So we could see Skylar Mays play over 35 minutes today, back-to-back games of 30-plus minutes versus the Kings and the Lakers. If you want to take a look at what point guards have done versus these Jazzes, we could take a look. Pretty much everybody goes over their assist prop when they play the Jazz. I mean, you see Marcus Smart did go under, but you have this long list of guys. Jacob Gilyard for the Memphis Grizzlies, Halliburton, Nembhard, Conley, Anthony, Smart, Gilyard again. You got Jamal Murray going over, Goodwin going over. You have Davion Mitchell going over, De'Aaron Fox hooking with 6, Bones Highland. I mean, listen, this is a great position for Skylar Mays to go over this assist line. I like the over on it. If you were looking at any other props for him, you know, you can possibly look to his points and rebounds and points and assists are also in some good spots. But for me, for a starting point guard who's going to have the ball in his hands a lot, playing over 30 minutes, has teammates that like to chuck, give me the over. 8.5 assists for Skylar Mays, and that is going to be our second play of the day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's video. I gave out 2 picks, told you why I like these picks. Now from here, you could take this information and you can go with me, you can go against me, totally up to you. But that's what we're rolling with today. If you made it this far in the video, consider subscribing to the channel. Definitely like this video. Statistics show that 65% of you will not like this video or leave a comment. Let us prove these statistics wrong. Let us prove this shit wrong. Like the video, leave a comment. Let me know what you like on the board, as well as your thoughts on our 2 plays. Consider sharing my channel, sharing my video with somebody you know. And lastly, no matter what you do, what player props you roll with, I hope they all respect the damn coin. Best of luck to you all. And until my next NBA player prop video, Chavez is out.